Anthony Harper with the InterMountain Christian News was able to introduce our investigations of UNRWA to the Senator James Risch, who at the time was the chairman of the Middle East Subcommittee, Near East Subcommittee of the Senate, and then became the head of the Foreign Relations Committee, and now is the ranking Republican. And because of that introduction, UNRWA has been forced to be open and transparent about the situation with the school books, the incitement, the indoctrination to murder. And this is something that people don't realize, the extent how one person can do so much. And when of course we heard that you were from Idaho, you saw my eyes kind of go very, very special in terms of their twinkle. The twinkle in my eye got very special because you see it's Senator Risch who can do something and did something. And we exposed the fact that this book, which praises a terrorist, Dalal al-Mughrabi, who murdered 38 Jews, is the featured book in the UNRWA school system for the last 5 years. And our friend Senator Risch and has made an issue out of it, thanks to you, Anthony Harper, and the fact that it's an unprecedented school book where the children are being taught to murder Jews, and by an example of this woman. And you see, it's not just a matter of reforming UNRWA, it's a matter of getting rid of their education as it is right now. And thanks to the intervention of Senator Risch, which I think has been influenced by Anthony Harper. Of course, 4 years ago, I was in the office of Senator Risch, in which we made a presentation about this subject, and it really worked. And that's what I can tell you. So the work of one man to push the proper legislator who, fearing for the good name of the United States and the situation of the people of Israel in the land of Israel under such a threat, education, indoctrination, these are the weapons in the hands of the other side. So a lot of credit both to Anthony Harper and to James Risch for standing up for integrity, the integrity of the God of Israel and the people of Israel and the land of Israel. And that's something that we can't forget.
Hi, I'm Idaho Senator Jim Risch, and I'm glad you asked me to visit with you today. Idahoans know that anti-Semitism has no place in society today, and we should all do everything we can to fight against any anti-Semitic rhetoric or action when we see it. Israel and the Jewish people are among the greatest friends that the United States has, and absolutely our greatest friend and ally in the Middle East. Through our more than 70-year relationship, the United States and Israel continue to forge an unbreakable bond. On the economic, diplomatic, and security fronts, we advance our cause shoulder to shoulder. But there's more we can and should do to help and fight against those who wish to harm Israel. Just last year, I introduced a resolution in the Senate that condemns the rise of anti-Semitism across the globe. In 2021, violence between Israel and Hamas led to an increase in attacks against Jewish communities. This violence was and is further fueled by support here in the United States for the BDS movement, a global Palestinian-led effort to promote boycotts, divestments, and economic sanctions against Israel. The BDS movement is dangerous and contributes to the rise of anti-Semitism. I will continue to condemn all forms of anti-Semitism in Idaho, the United States, and around the world. On that note, defending Israel at the United Nations is one of the most important jobs we have. From the UN Human Rights Council Commission of Inquiry to Agenda Item 7, Israel is unfairly singled out over and over again. We work tirelessly to ensure that our ally is not targeted and to stop U.S. taxpayer dollars from supporting anti-Israel or anti-Semitic activities at the UN. I also introduced the UNRWA Transparency and Accountability Act to make much-needed reforms to UNRWA. This important piece of legislation would require the Secretary of State to certify that UNRWA employees are not affiliated with Hamas and that all agency textbooks do not contain anti-Semitic rhetoric before any U.S. money would be allowed to be given to UNRWA. I'm disappointed that just last month President Biden provided additional funding to UNRWA without seeking reforms. I will continue pushing for reform of this deeply flawed organization. On Palestinian assistance, I continue to scrutinize every dollar to ensure compliance with the Taylor Force Act and push the Palestinian Authority to abandon the egregious pay-to-slave program. And as we continue to fight against the misappropriation and desecration of Jewish cemeteries, we must urge leaders to respect sacred Jewish heritage and allow the proper restoration of these and other holy sites. Thank you for all the work you do to defend Israel. We must continue to stand strong. Again, thank you for inviting me to address your group today. God bless you for what you're doing.
We read news every day, news that's informative but rarely encouraging. The InterMountain Christian newspaper aims to change that. They present the news you need to know, from what's going on in your community to your world, with encouraging words, motivation, and the resources you need to make positive changes in your life. What is your local government doing that you need to know about? What's happening in your community you need to be a part of? Whether it's a story from your neighborhood, a national story, or an encouraging word, you'll find biblical issues of everyday life in the InterMountain Christian newspaper. InterMountain Christian News is produced and supported by the work and donations of individuals and churches. You'll find it at churches, Christian bookstores, by subscription, and online at imcnews.org. To find out more about supporting this local resource, go online at imcnews.org or call InterMountain Christian News in Boise, Idaho at 208-703-8688. The InterMountain Christian News, a voice sharing the truth on matters dear to people's hearts.